when I went in the grocery store, and she saw something on one of the side things right before you get to the counter. She kept asking for it about you saying it in Spanish. So I'm getting all frustrated, and I kept saying, baby, I don't know what you're saying. And then finally she turned around and she said, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be nosy, but she said, you don't understand what she's saying.
Where you at? Drop a pin, send the addy. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the bag. Okay. They like, hey, where you at? Where you at? Drop a pin, send the addy. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the bag. Okay. Welcome to my podcast. It's called Somewhere in the Bag. Y'all see? Got my branding on. Okay, so today we're doing a Mother's Day episode, like I was explaining, Granny. And so, since I'm the podcast host, of course, people like, who created this wonderful human being? You know what I mean? So that's why we're here. And so I'm gonna start with an easy question, and we're gonna build up, right? All right. Wait. First of all, introduce yourself to the people. And my social media handle / social media personality is Todd Goals. Okay, and so you are
Valerie Bailey.
Todd
Goals mom.
Dora
Williams. Todd Goals grandmother.
Grandma said Top Goals.
Todd Goals.
Tot like Tatiana.
I said that.
Todd Goals. Oh, okay. Got you. Okay. First question. This question is for you, Mom. If you were to describe your mom, how would you describe her?
My mom is the most sweetest person in the world with the biggest heart in the world.
And just in case some of the people can't do math, who is your mom again?
Dora Williams.
Okay.
Okay, this lady is my mother.
Just in case anybody was confused. Okay, now Granny, if you were to describe your mommy, what was Grandma Effie like?
My mother, Effie, she was a very sweet, kind, loving person. She loved everybody, and everybody loved her. She was smart, and she was a teacher in her young days.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't. When I grew up and found out that, I figured out that's why she was so smart, because she would help me when I was trying to learn to read and write and stuff. She would help me so easily. And I would wonder, how did she know that? But she was just smart, and she was a good, kind, loving lady. And I hope that when I grow up, I'll be just like her.
And you know, who's not so smart sometimes? Me. Because I did not put y'all mics on.
Okay. How has your mommy, this is for you, of course. There's an order to go in there. You and Grant, okay? How has your relationship with your own mother influenced your approach to motherhood?
That's a good question.
And if you need to think, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, no, the relationship between me and your grandma, it's always been, I always felt like she was there. I know that when I was growing up, things were hard for her, and I can see that growing up. But at the same time, I felt like I had everything, because she did anything and everything she could to give me what I needed and mostly what I wanted. And I just felt I was spoiled. The money, it wasn't a lot of money that she had, but I promise you, I don't ever remember not having anything. We always had food. The house was always clean, and she worked her butt off. I remember going to uh, where she was babysitting other people's kids and stuff, and seeing her cleaning and all this stuff, and she worked hard. And seeing that made me want to do better, so I can help her, make it easier for her as I was, getting older.
Relatable.
Hmm.
Granny, how about you? How has your relationship with your mom? How did it influence you approaching motherhood? So where's my mom?
Well, my mom, it was 11 of us, and she was always there for us, her and my dad. Things were tough, really tough, as we were growing up in our early days. We didn't realize that we were poor as barn rats, but we were happy, and they took good care of us. They were always there for us. And I remember Mama, um, sometime when food would be not so plentiful, she would always find something to cook for us. And she would always make cakes and pies and all kind of stuff, cookies for us. And the thing I remember most and I enjoyed and I still think about so much at my age now is that at night, we would gather around the fireplace and she would read the Bible to us. She could sing. She'd sing to us. She would tell us fairy tales and about Little Red Riding Hood and all the other cartoon characters that she knew back then. And we would keep asking her, Mama, sing another song for us. And she'd get tired and she'd say, well, I'm going to sing one more song and then you children got to go to bed. And we would finally go to bed after she'd sing another song, but she always would read the Bible to us and tell us stories, and we would be hounding her all the time to do it again. And she would do it till she got tired, and then she would tell us to go to bed. So we'd go to bed and get up and start another day, either on the farm and going to school, and um, until we all grew up and started going our separate ways. She didn't like reading because I used to buy her books.
And I still hate reading to this day. I don't know how I made it through college because I hated reading.
So that's why you ain't read it.
I even had some of those books that they take your friends and your playmates or whoever and put them in your story, make a story up and put them in there. I even paid for some books, got some books like that for her. And she took them to school and left them, or somebody got them or something. And she wasn't good about doing her homework. She'd come in and I keep saying, do your homework. And she would fool around and mess around a lot. And until I get tired. And I said, well, let me see what you have to do. And I sit down and go through her homework, and she'd get up and go play, and I would do her homework.
Do my homework.
I said, well, when she get her car, get her what do you call it, the card. I say, well, we made a pretty good grade.
The report card.
Yeah, report card. Yeah, we made a pretty good grade because she'd be playing someplace and I'd be doing the homework. But I didn't mind, and I talked to her a lot about good things, the things that would make her life good and better than the life that we had. And I'm glad that I did. And today I'm so, so, so proud of her and her kids, and I'm just really proud.
Thank you, Granny. All right, so Granny shared some memories with us. She shared a memory about her mom, about you, So, how about you? Can you share some of your favorite memories or one
Of
favorite
me
of you
growing
and
up.
Granny? Yeah, growing
Oh,
up, you and your mom.
yeah. Well, mom, the family, I guess, not, well, mom too, but I remember us all getting together, going to parks, the beach. We would all just get together and everybody would cook. And that was one of my fondest memories, to have all the family. We had grandma. I remember when granddaddy, all the cousins, because I have no brothers and sisters, but I had 100,000 cousins. And when we all came together, it was just, I enjoyed it. Those were good memories for me.
Sure was.
Those were the best times where you had grandma and granddaddy and had everybody come together at their house, or whoever house, because we used to go to Aunt Helen's house a lot too. She would throw something and we would all just meet there. Or Smith Lake, we used to go to, I remember going to Smith Lake.
Yeah.
I mean, just a lot of good memories of this family being together and just being together. Those were the best times.
Can you share a favorite memory of your kids? You can start with Kim.
Oh Lord.
Here's Kim, by the way, y'all.
Kim was, that's why I named Kim Professor, because he was so smart.
I had to think like a favorite. You mean a favorite memory that I have of Ken when he was growing up?
Yeah.
Not that many, huh?
No, I'm trying to think.
So many, right? You gotta pick one.
Yeah, I think the fondest memories I have of him taking care of you is I didn't think he would be that way, but he was so protective of you. He didn't want you to fall. He didn't want you to get a scratch. If you got a scratch on you, he would just panic, about the least little thing about you. And I remember when we went to the beach and you went out there, because your dad taught you how to swim. And I didn't want you to go out there, but you were going way out there in the water. Kim was about to have a fit. He kept saying, Mom, get her back in here. Tell her to come back up here. She's going too far out. Mom, tell her she's going too far out. So I think those are the fondest memories, because I never thought he would be that protective of his little sister, but he was very protective. And he took care of you when I had to work and go to school. I come home, he had your bath. You had your bath. He had given you dinner and put you to bed. By the time I got on time, because I had both of y'all grew up on schedules. He kept you on that schedule, and he made sure that. And I didn't think he would be able to handle that, but that just exceeded my, what I thought that he can do. And that's when I knew that he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, because we got a 7-year difference. How old are you?
9.
I'm 40.
40.
Almost 9.
I'm 30. Dang, how old am I? 31. I'm gonna be 32 this year. So yeah, 9 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Always been a little old soul.
Yeah, it definitely has been an old soul all time, always.
I had to interview you for the Father's Day episode.
My daughter is half Puerto Rican and half Black. Her Puerto Rican family is in Puerto Rico, so she would go to visit her Puerto Rican side family quite a bit. At the age of about 2 years old, she went for about a month. And when she came back, it wasn't because she went to kindergarten. This was 5. So she had to be about close to 5. Yeah, because when she came back, because they had to get her a translator for school. Okay, so she went to Puerto Rico and stayed for about a month. She come back, she didn't remember English, so she had to have a translator. She was good. That's just when she was just ready to go into kindergarten. So when she started, they had to give her a translator at first because she couldn't speak any English, and I had a difficult time with her several times trying to understand some of the things that she was saying. I would always have to call her dad and ask her what is it she's asking for, because I didn't understand Spanish fully. But the funniest memory I have is when I went in the grocery store, had her sitting in the little front part of the buggy. We're in line, and she saw something on the one of the side things in the right before you get to the counter. She kept asking for it, but I couldn't understand what she was asking for. She was saying it in Spanish. So I'm getting all frustrated, and I kept saying, "Baby, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying." And there was a lady standing in front of me that kept glimpsing back. And so she glimpsed back like a few times. And then finally she turned around. She said, "I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be nosy," but she said, "You don't understand what she's saying." And I said, "No." And I said, "I'm so embarrassed." I said, "'Cause this is my child." I said, "But she went to Puerto Rico and stayed for a month, and she just got back home, and she forgot her English." The lady started, she laughed so hard I thought she would bust her side. She turned around, she said, "Okay, it's okay." She said, "It's okay." So she leaned over to Tatiana. She said something to her in Spanish, and Tatiana said something back. And then she pointed over to what it was that she wanted, and the lady went over and got it and gave it to her. She said, "This is what she was asking for." I don't even remember if it was a piece of candy or something. But the whole time she was laughing. She was cracking up. She said, "I don't mean to laugh at you." She said, "But it's just so funny." So she cracked up. But she stood there. She talked to Tatiana for a few minutes. She said, "Well, just keep speaking English to her. She'll pick it up, and she's a baby. She's gonna pick it up real quick." So that was the funniest thing I think that ever happened. I never forget it. And I said that lady probably would never forget it either, because she laughed all the way out the door.
I'm so glad you told that story, because I told a couple people and I think they think that I'm crazy or just making it up. But this is coming from the horse's mouth, y'all. So.
Yes.
Granny, you have one?
Yeah, the first one is when you came back from Puerto Rico, I was babysitting you, and we was at Belle's house, and you go play a while and then come back and say, "Mima, Mima, agua." And I tried to figure out what you were talking about, and I thought you were just saying something. So I kept on talking and kind of ignoring you, and you kept coming back. And finally, I said, "Well, I don't know what she wants." I called Duchess and asked her what was arguing. Duchess said, "Mama, she's asking for a drink of water." I was just sitting there for hours. Poor baby wants some water. I didn't know what she was talking about. I said that's one word I won't never forget.
Yeah, that and leche. She was always saying, "Dame leche, mama, dame leche." She wants some milk. "I want some milk."
And Tatiana was such a sweet little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was so grown.
Sassy.
I always walk around
and talk to everybody. Nobody was a stranger.
Never met a stranger. Never. Always laughing. Her and Ken was the happiest children I ever seen. They was always laughing and having fun. And Tatiana, when we went to Florida, went to Orlando, Florida, and we stayed down there a little over a week, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatiana had an ear infection, and she wasn't feeling so good, so she was on medication while we were down there. And every time we go to eat, she wouldn't want nothing but French fries. And so I would try to get her to eat other stuff. Even we went to one restaurant and they had every kind of Jello you can imagine. And I love Jello, so I tried to get her to eat some Jello. She said, "I don't want it." So I said, "Okay, you don't have to eat it if you don't want it. If you get hungry, just tell somebody." So when she did decide to eat something, it was either French fries or macaroni and cheese. And that you go find Kentucky Chicken to get macaroni and cheese. And when we got ready to come home, we had to leave in a hurry because Dessa forgot to pay the light bill, and she was afraid they're gonna turn the lights off that day. So we didn't stop nowhere to eat until we got here. It was late in the evening, and so I told Dessa, I said, "Go someplace and let's, I'll buy enough food so y'all can go home and eat. We won't have to cook nothing." And so Tatiana was sleeping because she was on her medication, and she was sitting in the car seat. We went to Hardee's, and Ken said, we got in the drive-through line. Ken said, Tati, wake up. We're going to get some food. And she opened her eyes and kind of rolled them around a little bit and went right back to sleep. And he did that about 3 or 4 times. So when it got to the window, Ken said, it's the last chance, Tati. You got to wake up. You want some French fries? And she balled her little fist up and come down on that tray. No, I'm tired of French fries. And so I don't remember what she ended up getting, but she didn't want no more French fries. And she was while we was at the hotel, um, she would go around pushing the buttons on the TV, one button after another. And so we kept saying, "Don't turn the TV off, Tati," and she just kept doing it. So we got up one morning. We would get ready to go to Universal Studios, and all of a sudden there was somebody on the intercom speaking Spanish. And I said, "Well, I don't know what they're talking about," but I kept listening, trying to figure it out. And finally, this man came up the back stairs with a flashlight, and he said, something happened. Y'all go outside. He said, come on, and I'll lead you down these stairs out the back way. And so we went down there, but we came back up. Tata started pushing those buttons again. Well, that was before we went down, because we heard a big boom, like something exploded. And so we were trying to figure out what that was. And I looked out the window and saw people out there in the night clothes and stuff. So that's when the guy came up and he took us out the back way. And when it went off, Tatiana had her finger on a button on the TV. And I said, "No, Tatiana, you done blown the TV." But that big boom came, and I thought for sure, I wasn't kidding. I really thought that the TV blowed up, because she had been pushing the button. But that was funny. We went on and went out. You got ready and went to Universal Studios, and Ken was the most excited.
Yeah, he was.
He was just overwhelmed with excitement. And Tatiana, Herman took Duchess and Ken, and they went to, what was that y'all went to ride on?
So I don't remember what.
Y'all, and went to, I don't know, y'all went in one of those, I don't know what it was, because I didn't want to go. I put Tatiana in the stroller, and me and her went to watch the boat race. It was cold that day. Cold.
Yeah, it sure was. We had to buy sweaters.
I ended up buying everybody a sweatshirt to put on, because it was so cold. And me and her went to watch the boat race, and I didn't know the boat, when it come around, it turned the corner, and water just went all over us. But Tatiana, I was pushing her down around the buildings, and we were looking, and she said, "Lucy, Lucy, Lucy." And I looked in the window, and Lucy was in the window, and she had Lucille Ball, and there were a bunch of little baby chicks in there. So I said, "You want to go in there?" And she wanted to go in there, so we went in there. And I told her, I said, "You can, if you want something, you can get one thing." She said, "Okay." She walked right in there and picked up and looked at just about every keychain and all that kind of stuff that was in there. And then she came right back to where she walked in the door. There was a keychain with a monkey on it. She looked at that first, and then she took it and put it back and went around and looked at all the other stuff. So we got ready to leave out of there. I said, "You gonna get something?" She went right back to that first thing and got that monkey on the chain. But that was even though she was sick and everything, that was a good day. We were just about to freeze to death, though. That was it was cold out there that day.
What is the best piece of advice your mom gave you that you carried into motherhood?
There's quite a few.
Just stop. When I told you, stop yelling at them and talk to them. I think that's because you stop yelling at them and start talking to them there.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, gentle parenting.
Okay. Yeah, that, and then as far as life, just work hard. and strive to do better.
Okay. Nice and simple. I like it.
Mhm.
What about you, Granny? What's the best piece of advice your mom gave you that you carried into motherhood?
Well, she always told us to. She taught us to take care of each other, and I guess that's why I feel I grew up seemed like taking care of somebody because I took care at it when we were growing up. The younger children under me, I helped her take care of, and along the rest of my life, I always took care of somebody. So she always said, "You children have to look out for each other, take care of each other." So that's what we did.
You say you had 11 brothers and sisters, so where do you fall in there? Like, are you the third oldest?
No, let me see. There was Rudell, there was Sis, Bobby, and then me. That was the fourth one.
The fourth oldest.
Okay, so you're the oldest living sibling at this time. Is that right?
Huh?
The oldest living
The
sibling, yes.
oldest living sibling now.
Yeah.
Currently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you have and then everybody else is younger. Okay.
Yeah.
Mom, do we have any? I don't think we do. Do we have any traditions like that we do? No, right?
No, never really had a
We
tradition.
should change that.
Yeah,
Right?
we do.
Let's bring it up to the family board. You.
No.
Oh no, I'm not trying to throw you in there. I was saying, I asked her, do we have any traditions that she could think of?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, we cook on holidays together.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always spent holidays together.
Yeah.
And any other day was one holiday we made one because the family always used to get together, just fun time.
Any did you with your mom? Did y'all have any traditions other than gathering, like you were just saying?
We always did that. When I was growing up, it was sort of like, I don't know if anybody ever watched it. I'd still love to watch it. The Waltons. That's how we
That's
lived
how y'all was.
until
Okay.
because there was my mama's mama and daddy, Uncle Paul, Aunt Loveday, and my mom and daddy, and me and Bobby, Sis and Rudell, and my cousin. Her mom died when she was born, Mamie. We all lived in this big house together,
Oh wow.
and we called Grandma Mary. We called her Mama, and called Grandpa Henry Papa. Mama and Papa. We all lived in the big house together, and we had this huge table in the kitchen, and she would cook on this big wood stove. Every morning, you get up smelling ham, biscuits, and she would have all that food cooked up on the table. Everybody go and eat breakfast, and they would go to work, and we'd go to school or go to play. And at dinner time, everybody would come together again, and it was fun. We used to love to play in the woods. Someplace I won't go now if I can help myself. But we played in the woods, and my mama's two older brothers, they made moonshine, and we played in the woods and found one of their steals in the woods, and went back and told mama we found something in the woods, and there was like big bags of sugar out there. And mama said, "Those two children go back out there. That's your uncle's mess. Just don't go out there and play." And but it was fun. We played in the woods. I wasn't afraid then, but now yeah, I'm scared of everything. I like to walk the trails in the woods, but only in the daytime when uh, I'll be looking out to see what's out there then. But that's what we used to do. We play at night in the yard with the moon shining. The moon.
Oh, the
The natural light.
Yeah.
Not the moonshine.
Yeah, not the moonshine.
No, the natural light.
But yeah, we would play in the yard at night. We'd play hide and seek. And we would hide behind grandma's flowers, her plant, her flowers she had all around the house. We'd hide behind those. And but that's stuff that nobody could pay me to do now because I'm scared. But we used to have a really good time. Go to church on Sunday. I always went to church.
You and I have, I don't know if you call it a tradition, but you know, every time we talk on the phone,
Oh,
you want to show the people how we end our phone calls. You ready?
yeah, it started with Ken.
Yeah, tell us the origin.
Yeah, Ken, when Ken was little, they went to, I don't remember how old Ken was when y'all left and went to California.
Oh.
But I had been taking care of Ken, and he was so attached to me, and I was attached to him, and we spent a lot of time together. And he, when he got ready to leave, he said, Grandma, he said, what am I going to do? I won't be able to see you. So I told him, I said, well, we're going to talk on the phone every day. And I say, and we won't forget each other. I say, just remember that I love you and I'm going to be thinking about you. We're going to talk. And I told him, I said, you know what we can do? I said, you when you think about me, I said, wrap your arms like this. And tell me that you love me. And give me a big kiss. And I started that with him, so I tell him we'd go, and they would go, That was the hug. And so when Tatiana came along, we passed it on to her, and that's what me and Tatiana did every time we talk to each other.
You gotta do it right. It's 5 kisses and 5 hugs. You gotta do it all in the right cadence and everything. Mom.
Nope.
Huh?
I was just keeping it. I just keep my answer short.
Okay. What is one lesson you've learned from being a mom?
A lesson from being a mom. Am I a mom?
Learn how to multitask. I know that.
Yeah, definitely got to multitask. But I think letting your children see how hard you're working, so they know as they're growing up, when they grow up, that's what they're gonna have to do. Also, work hard, strive for everything better.
What about you, Penny? What's one lesson you learned from being a mom?
I learned how to multitask. Because most of what I do, a lot of times just cooking, I would have dishes on my hip. Everywhere I went and everything I did, just about I took her with me. So we were, I guess, like the movie The Twins. But it teaches you how to really care about people, because your child, you're gonna give that child all your attention and your love, and so then it spreads to other people and other things, and it makes for good people.
What is the most important lesson that you feel that you have taught me, or that you hope that you taught me?
Well, I guess I start thinking back to when I used to tell you about school, because with Ken, he didn't like homework either, so I guess he got that from me. He didn't like homework either, so I had to keep on him. But with you, with
Tatiana used to read a
Tatiana.
lot.
Yep, Tatiana used to read. She used to read a lot, and I never had to tell her when she came home to do her homework. But one thing I tried to drill into her was take care of your schoolwork first, get it out the way, and then you can do whatever else you want to do after that, party, whatever. But take care of school first. So I think that kind of drilled in her head because I was really scared for her to go to her first year of college.
Oh, well, me too.
Because I was thinking this child's gonna be on her own. She's gonna be partying. She ain't gonna think about nothing but partying, and she, doing whatever she want to do. And it was a total opposite. She worked hard. She worked doing school. She kept her grades up. I was the helicopter mom the first year because I stayed in her stuff to make sure. Because I told her that first year you mess up, you coming back home. I don't care. You coming home. But she showed me that she can do it. She kept her grades up. She worked 2 jobs at one point. She had her own place. She made sure she had her grades going and school was taken care of before she did anything else. And I was very proud of her from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she took that with her when she left going to college. That she knows she had to work hard with school first. That came first before anything.
Just to piggyback on that, because I think it's important. Sometimes, technically, I would have been what's defined as a first generation college student,
Mm-hmm.
but I think our dynamic is interesting because Granny. So, for example, Granny, you had to basically help the family, right? Work, and so that's why you had to. Was it 5th grade?
No, I
Fourth
went
grade?
I went through to the 10th grade.
10th grade,
Mm-hmm.
okay. 10th grade, then you had to pitch in and help with the farm and stuff, right? So Granny didn't quite get a chance to make it through high school. And then Mom, you
Got married.
high school thing.
I got married to Kenneth's dad right before my senior year.
And so you were in Germany when you were technically supposed to like
Be great, yeah. So I didn't get to graduate.
So you finished online?
No, I came back to the States and went back to FTCC and got my. No, it wasn't GED. I did the actual high school diploma thing through their course. They had a course there.
Oh, so you had to come back and finish.
I had to come back and finish. So I came back and finished, and then from there went from there to a 2-year college, and then I stretched that out a little bit. But I started on my bachelor's. I kind of did a little bit here and a little bit there, so I finally got that done.
Yeah, because like at one point I remember when you were going to school, you had a job, like a regular job, but then you also had like sometimes a part-time. Like
Yeah, I still work for Cumberland County Schools, but I had worked as a pharmacy tech at CVS.
And was doing school. Like
and doing school, yeah, I was doing school.
And so basically, so didn't walk for high school, then you went through college. And somehow you went back, started, and finally finished and
the
then
bachelor's.
We ended up finishing our bachelor's at
together.
The same time. So of course, she, as my mother, decided to skip her college graduation and go to mine.
Yep.
So she still hasn't walked, and then her and I decided together to go back and get our master's. And she finished before me and walked for the first time to get her master's degree. Yeah. Which was exciting, right?
Yeah.
Ken was there front and center grade too. So yeah, just I think it's important to note that, you know, the power of breaking generational curses, and like, you know, Granny set the foundation, but then, you know, Mommy made it a little bit better, and then now I have it a little bit better, and then hopefully we can keep trickling it down.
You didn't ask me what the most important lesson that they taught me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a boy.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, what's the most important? You know, listen, you are a feature.
Yeah, that's right. Now. Exactly.
But yeah, we can get you. Go ahead. Let's indulge him. What's the most important? What's the most important lesson you think you taught kids?
The most important lesson I think he learned is being, I guess, being kind and wanting and helping people. Because Ken is very, very kind. And I think maybe that can be just a little bad for both of my kids because both of them are very kind hearted and wanting to help people. And sometimes people seem to want to take advantage of that. And so that, I guess that would be a, I forgot what I was saying.
That would be a lesson.
Yeah, that would be I think that would be a lesson. Just make sure you always, you know, be kind to people. Don't let people take advantage of you, but be kind to people and help people when you can, because you know you'll need help one day.
Granny, what do you feel like was your main challenge that you faced as a mother?
Um, Finding a job that could make enough money to take care of Duchess, give her what she needed, and hopefully maybe something that she wanted. It wasn't easy. I worked I worked all kind of jobs. I did a lot of housekeeping, um, a lot of babysitting, and sometimes I would do work when I did go to beauty college and graduated and started working in the beauty world. I would do that in the daytime, and sometimes I go in from 7 to 12 o'clock at night. I go and babysit, and I did. I worked in the beauty shop all day, every day except for Monday at one point, and then I would um, do have people that didn't have time to come to the beauty shop would come to my house, whatever day it was, holiday, Sunday, weekday, night, or whatever. Anytime I had time to do somebody else's hair to make some money to help pay the bills, but I did it no matter what kind of day it was or night it was, because most of it would be in the evenings and on the days that I wasn't at work, because on Mondays I didn't work in the beauty shop. And I babysit and did housework and worked at a daycare. Spent 8 years working at a nursing home, cleaning, doing um, housekeeping, and whatever I could do to make it, to be able to support us is what I did.
Okay, so basically finances.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's where I got that from, because the part times that I did, I tried to do something that helped supplement the check that I was getting, my main check.
Mm-hmm.
That even working in the hog plant for for a summer and having to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning
for good old Smithfield.
Oh Lord. That was the hardest work. I ain't never did no hard labor in my life, but that was the hardest work I think I ever done in my whole life. And I remember when the summer was ending, the manager, he was like, "Oh," he said, "Yeah, the summer is about gone." He said, "Will you be back next summer?" I said, "No." I said, "No, sir. I sure won't." I said, "I hope y'all be happy, but you won't see me back here no more."
Well, that might have been the same for me, except for I think that working on the farm was really some hard work. But that's how we survived. We worked on the farm, helped daddy. Mm-hmm. When he go work, he would find something for us to do. We worked, and when I started school, we had to pay for our school books. And they wasn't even new books. They would take them from the white schools and take the old books from the white school and give them to us, and we had to pay for them. So we would work whatever we could do in the summer, and they would save our money, and then we'd get clothes and shoes and money to pay for our books to go to school with.
How has your experience been seeing us grow and change throughout life?
how my experience has been to see you guys growing up. It's amazing. I never thought. Well, I would say I never thought. I didn't imagine you guys growing up to be the people you are today, which I'm very proud of both of you. Um, I just, I don't know. It's I don't know what I expected. Pretty much, I know I expected you guys to be the best that you can be, but you kind of exceeded that.
You didn't know we were gonna be this awesome.
You didn't know you were going to be this awesome. Did not. Very proud of both of you.
And what about you, Granny? What has your experience been watching not only mommy grow, but also create her own little people that are also grown? How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. It's not something that I knew was gonna happen, or it's just like, it was sort of like a surprise, but a good surprise. And y'all just all turned out so well. Made me so proud. I talk about y'all and how proud I am of you so much to people until I was pretty sure they got tired of hearing me talk about it. But I'm just so proud, that to see, because I prayed and I asked God to let me stay around long enough to see y'all be able to take care of yourselves. Because I always did everything I could to try to help make things better for you. And to see you be able to do that for yourself, and it's just amazing. It's wonderful.
All right, these questions are hypothetical questions, okay? Because your girl is still out here single and mingling. But God willing, I hope I can become a mother one day. So, just imagine little mini me, little junior, whichever one. What is a piece of advice, Mom, start with you. What is a piece of advice you would give to me for whenever I become a mother one day?
I guess teach your kids to be respectful to people. Respect people, other people's. I'm trying to think of a word for it. Not emotions. Just respect people in general. That's one of the biggest things. If you're gonna grow up disrespectful, I think your life just won't be good at all. So that respect thing for people, and you have to have respect for people that have respect for you, of course. But I do believe that you need to have that respect, especially for your elders.
How about you, Granny? For your imaginary great grand junior or mini me, what do you got?
Well, just
for me anyway, not for them. For me as a
just teach them to be loving, respectful, and good people. Just teach them how to be good people, and it will carry them through. If sometimes they don't stick to it, but so far you and Ken have, and it's. I believe that when you have yours, they will. If you teach them that, they will be the same way.
So, the last question was for me as like a hypothetical, hopefully future mom, right? So then, also hypothetically, little junior, little mini me. Um, and you guys are great grandparents, great grands. You got the gang. My brother got a gang. We got, I got my little bonus nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
And then, my mom's husband, she was recently remarried. Shout out Q. He was in here with us earlier. Got a niece and a nephew. Sorry, two nephews and a niece on that end. So I guess for the existing grandchildren and then also my hypothetical grandchildren. Anything like say they were all in a room right now.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to them? What's something that you would want to say to them and have them keep that with them?
Probably, I guess one of the things is to make sure they keep the education going. Get the education, because it would be very helpful in your adult life.
And not even like just traditional, right? Because college is going up there, but
Yeah.
we're talking like certs and
inserts, certifications,
or even YouTube's podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, just keep learning,
just
right?
keep learning. Exactly.
Just keep learning. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Granny?
Well, I'd say the same thing, because even though I didn't finish school, to this day, I try to learn everything I can learn. And I I taught myself um, how to read better, better. I can read almost anything now. The only thing I'm really bad at is math.
Well, that's all of them.
But
It might be hereditary.
Yeah, I know, right?
but I taught myself how to read, how to spell. Try to, the everyday life, how to treat people, and I've learned. I just like learning things, and being 83 years old now, I'm still just as excited about learning new things as I ever have been. And every time I learn something new, I'm pretty proud of myself. I say, well, I can do that. So just learn everything you can learn, and be proud of what you can do, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I used to worry. I know well, Mama said I didn't, but I used to worry Mama, because I would come to a point where sometimes I didn't want to look in the dictionary when I want to spell a word that I wasn't sure about, and I would call her and she would spell words for me all the time. Now I have to get my dictionary, but I try, whenever I find something new, I try to remember it. And I used to have a photographic memory, and sometimes every once in a while, now I do, but that's how I learn. And I still willing to learn whatever I can learn, even at my age. Don't never get too old for that.
Okay, so basically, just both of y'all saying just keep learning, even though you might make it to 185 plus.
Right.
Keep learning. And we'll end with the group hug. Come on, Cam, bring it in. Group hug.
Oh.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, wait, I have something for y'all. Hold on, don't move. I gotta run downstairs real quick.
One of the things I love about Mary's kids, they're just as sweet, and they're so respectful. God knows, you don't see many kids like that no more.
Very, very.
Most of them.
Oh.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. That is so sweet of you guys. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I want to cry.
Thank you, baby.
Okay, now group hug. Yep, with the
Can we
flower.
stand up?
No, we'll come to you.
No. Thank you.
Love you. Switch sides.
No. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Okay, now we gotta keep
Okay, Cam. What is your mother like? Some of these I would like, obviously Mary, because, but yeah. How would you describe our mother?
She's an evil person. Evil. Our mother is really nice. She's very kind-hearted. She's very stern and stubborn, but
Mhm.
that has taught me how to be a good adult. So all those are good qualities.
All right, now describe Granny.
Granny is very kind-hearted. She's loving. She's very patient. I think she's where I got my patience from. um, yeah, just very kind-hearted, loving, patient, giving, very giving. Yeah, and forgiving.
Okay. Yeah, I concur. I don't really have anything to add. I think the hearing their responses, just to, bring that into, I guess, full circle, is that they're both very kind, hardworking individuals who have created also very kind, hardworking individuals. Mommy and Granny are, I think, two of the most. I mean, everybody probably feel like their mom and their granny is like that, but no, just kidding. um, and I'm just, we're just lucky enough to be in that club. Um, and I wish I had something more profound to say. This is hard. Like, I didn't realize how hard this was, y'all. I'm the one who made up the questions, and I'm like, what? What's the answer gonna be? But yeah, no, very sweet, very kind, um, angel-hearted people. I feel like they're constantly sacrificing themselves, not only for us, but just the collective, everybody around us, our family. How has your relationship with your own mother influenced your approach to motherhood? No, I'm just kidding. Don't answer that one. We're gonna go to the let's go to the memories. That's for the Father's Day episode. Because my brother is in fact a father now. And then, but one could argue that he wasn't a father, but maybe a brother father. When growing up, brother father. I don't know. Somebody might call somebody about that if they. Now that I say it out loud, y'all know what I mean. Like how Granny was describing with her lineage. I mean, heavy is who wears the crown. Like the oldest, they always gotta be kind of like in a parental, type of mode at some point. Um, shall we share a memory? What is a favorite memory that you have of whomever you'd like to pick first, Granny, Mom?
I have several favorite memories.
You can only pick one.
For Mom, it was when we were at Fish and Chip.
Yeah.
And she's looking at the menu and she's trying to decide what she wants to eat. And she looks at it very seriously. This college educated woman looks at it and goes, I think I'm gonna have the telepathia, telepathia. I said, man, them fish are hard to catch because they know the line is coming. They psych it. They got telepia. Telepia. I think we laughed so hard.
Bro, we was dying. And if I for sure can find the picture because it just came up in the Facebook memories, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm gonna include the picture for y'all. Y'all gonna see how hard we was laughing for sure. Yeah. Okay, what about Granny? Because I'm still thinking. I'm like,
for
dang.
me, it was all the times that where she was living on Murchison Road. Mm-hmm. We used to sit on the front porch, and that's where I started learning how to cook. Because I used to cook dirt pies, and she used to pretend like they were great. But those were the best times. Just sitting on the porch underneath I think wasn't it, Granny, like a gumball tree that was on the side?
That was a maple tree.
A maple tree.
I always had my bell bought me a rocking chair. I always sit in a rocking chair. And I told him to put the pies in the oven under my chair. That was the oven. and he would pick grass and make salad. Yeah. And make his mud pies and put them under the oven.
I don't eat salad now, but. I made it then.
Yeah, me and him, I would take him to across the street to Suburban Mart and buy him a push-up.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the last time I had one, he took me over and brought me one.
I think I got one now. I for sure, for some reason, I have like a lot, but I think for Granny, um, I remember when uh, she used to babysit me while mom was, working one of her 8 jobs or something. So Granny would do anything that she could to entertain me because, like young children, their attention spans aren't that, long. So I can remember, some kind of makeshift. She done let me tear up her living room and put the like couch cushions into
A fort.
into a fort. Yeah. And we used to play card games, old maid. Yeah, we used to play old maid all the time. And also reading. Um, I did always like to read, and Granny sometimes would read with me. So one of my favorite books, childhood books, is Mother Goose. I probably could recite some of those poems by heart still to this day, and I still have a very raggedy but intact copy, Granny, of Mother Goose that you gave me. So I'm hoping, like I said, if I get a chance to become a mom, that I can read that book to them. So that's my memory with Granny. And then mom, tattoo. Yes, me and my mom have a matching tattoo. But wait, my feet are ugly. Hold on. Yes, mom. Okay, first of all, my mom already has several tattoos. And so that wasn't my first tattoo. I do have, I think I got 8 right now. But my first one says Romans 3:23, my favorite Bible verse back here. But my second tattoo, I wanted to get something with my mom because I feel like we're very close. And my brother, he doesn't do tattoos, so he's naked. But my mom already has several tattoos, and so her and I got a matching crown tattoo. And I'm just gonna very carefully so y'all can't see my toes. I will zoom in on this in my edit. Hint, hint. No. Oh, you can't see it at all? No, you don't have to move it.
We'll take a picture and
How about
edit it
now?
later.
Can you see now? Okay. Yeah, and then I'll add a picture to it, yeah, if y'all can't see it. But yeah. So she got the same exact tattoo on the same exact foot. And what it is, y'all, my mom's family nickname is Duchess. One of my granny's friends from way back gave her that nickname, right? And so the whole family knows her as Duchess. So I wanted to get like a crown to signify that, and then I got like we got like an infinity sign on the bottom, to signify forever, because we are gonna be together forever. So anyways, she was talking so much junk. She's like, I got all these tattoos, it's fine, like it's gonna be fine. She went first, and when I tell you, she wasn't even in 5 minutes into the tattoo before she started wincing and cringing and tearing up. And I'm like, you good, Ma? And she's like, yeah. Hey, I don't know, but I'm like, what's that? What was all that junk you was talking? And then here, it comes my turn, and I'm just like, taking a nap and everything. So I don't know, but yeah, So thank you. Who said that? Was that you? Tattoo? Okay, thank you for throwing me a lifeline, because there's a lot of memories, but really just like spending time with my mom. So I mean, we could just be going to the grocery store. She used to take me everywhere, when I was younger. So grocery store, but we don't get to spend as much time. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. She's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But whenever we get a chance to, go get our nails done every 3 years or so, we have to. Basically, I'm throwing a hint over there that we need to spend more time together. But when we do spend time together, it's always a good time. So, but yes, thank you
for throwing that lifeline. Okay. What's a lesson that you learned from mom?
Hard work, because I saw how much she worked, how hard she worked, and that kind of drove me to want to do the same thing. Um, kind of like she said, be respectful. She taught me how to be firm with people, but be respectful at the same time, so people don't like walk all over you. Um, gosh, there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, that's just some of it.
I think like that's just seems to be the theme. I would grab that as well. Is take care of your people. Um, so like my brother, he gets on my nerves, but I love him to death. I would never let anything happen to him. Like I could talk junk about my brother all day, but don't. If you not me, oh nah. Like cannot have it. Like I will not. I will light the world on fire for my brother, and I think he would do the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, same for anybody that's correlated with us, because blood doesn't always make somebody family or even marriage. But I mean, even more, just more so like blood. I got new nieces and nephews, and if one of them called me and needed me, or they said somebody was messing with them or something, we're coming 10 toes down. So I feel like anytime any of us needs something or fall short of something, I think it's great that we can lean on each other, for love, support. That might not always be. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just emotional support. So yeah, I love you, bro.
Love you too.
So that, and then like I know we keep beating that into the ground, but hard work first, play later. Um Honestly, the world is your oyster once you get your work done. I mean, even as basic as school, I learned very early. My mom was teaching me like, do what you're supposed to do and you can do what you want. And it's really that simple. Like, because I was a good kid, I never caused any trouble. I always did my work. I literally could do what I want. I could get away with murder. Not saying I was doing bad things, but like, I needed something from a teacher or wanted to do something or whatever. They're like, okay, just because it's you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the same at work or anywhere, working your job. You come to work on time, do what you need to do. I have a picture, mom, that you took of me when I was like 5 at the table doing my homework. And then, like she said, I would do my homework, then I get to go outside and play, and I don't got to worry about it no more. So, hard work. Hard work pays off. Boop,
So
boop,
just
boop.
make it people like you. Remember, I used to tell you when you're in school, let your teachers like you.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you're supposed to do.
Oh,
Let your teacher
yeah.
like you, and you
Exactly.
progress.
You create fans
Yes.
at school, at work, even in business. Because I have my business ventures. Ken has his business ventures, and this isn't about Ken, but just a side note, because I think I was having a conversation with my mom, and I was telling her something that I think I realized that I don't think said to Ken, but like one of the things I admire about Ken is how creative he is, and he's really smart and can like learn anything he really wants to learn. So like I don't like when I was younger and used to take me to the radio station, or um if I wanted to like try something or like learn something, he would make time. It wouldn't be like, oh no, I don't have time to show you right now. Like he would take the time to show me, and I think that's why I'm the person I am today, because I am also creative, but he showed me that you can kind of like dive into these different avenues, like videography. Like he used to work at a radio station. He has a podcast. That's why I got a podcast. He was on my first podcast, and he showed me how to do it. He never gatekeeps. He never brushes me off or anything. He's basically showed me anything that I've wanted to do, or that he knows how to do, or even just giving me just any kind of support, not only in that regard but emotional support. I have my own. I knew I was gonna I knew I was gonna cry at some point. I struggle with mental health, you know, and I feel sad for people that go through that and don't have a support system. So I can literally I can call my mom, I can call my granny, I can call my brother. It doesn't matter what time it is. They will always answer the phone and see whatever they can do to help me, even if it's just, you know, on the phone talking about nothing. I can call my dad too. Shout out dad, because I know he's gonna be like, hey, what about me? I've called him too, at whatever o'clock, and no, sometimes depending on how late it is, they might already know it might be something wrong, because obviously I'm not calling to ask about the weather at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I appreciate everybody. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get back on topic now. But yes, Ken, if you didn't know today, I wanted to just tell you that you inspire me to be who I am as well. Just doing all that you do. So,
well, thank you.
No problem, bro.
You'll do far better than at it than I do.
And but yeah, he was on my first podcast episode. The episode was called Podcast on Podcast, because I had him and his people that's on his podcast. By the way, it's called Smash the Mat. So make sure you can catch that on all streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And check them out. They got a Facebook page. That's where I usually tune in at. So, anyways, I think that's about it. I'm trying to see if I missed anything that I really wanted to ask.
Yeah, it used to be our weatherman. I thought that's what he was. Yeah, you did. You could ask him about the weather anytime. He can tell you about the.
Hey, that's coming too. I have a friend that's a weatherman in Wilmington, so told me I can come down there sometime.
That's what I named him. I think he was about 4 or something like that when I named him Professor. And then I taught him how to play golf with the curtain rod and the ping pong ball.
Uh-huh.
And then I used to do the magic things out of the newspaper with him. And then he started to, I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, he was the smartest little thing. They had, his school had just taken to have him tested. How they say he was just so smart, they wanted to see if he was one of those little genius genius, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the positive things about, I guess, our immediate family is nobody ever killed my dream. Like, even I see it on Mama's face sometimes. When I say, Mom, I'm gonna go wrestle. I go, what? She's all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
You can do it. It was always you can do whatever you want to do. So I've always done stuff that I wanted to do, but at the same time, I learned that as you get older, then you have to get a real job. But she allowed me to do that, which was good.
I remember when Kim was about 3 years old. I come home from work one day, he was laying across my bed watching golf on TV. And I was, when I come in from work, I always hug him and play with him. And I grabbed him and I was hugging him. He said, Grandpa, move. You made me miss my birdie.
I think, not to, again, we getting off topic, but it's okay. It's very important to give people their flowers while they're here. So,
yes. I totally believe that.
Both literally and figuratively. But I think that is one thing that I admire about you, because you march to the beat of your drum and you don't care if you offbeat, who watching, who recording, none of that. Like, because I always tell people how like fascinating you are, because you're like, even at however age you've, like, as you've grown up, you've always been a little old man on the inside. But in terms of like, you like to play golf, that's not like something mainstream that black men do, and especially not young black men. He's always been into golf. He's been really into bowling. He taught me how to bowl, so I'm a decent bowler because of him. But that's not really like a major, like a mainstream type of thing. Like, I like the fact that my brother, he didn't decide like, oh, let me just go, I'm gonna make a mixtape, and you know what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of people out there doing that, but it's not a lot of people playing golf. It's not a lot of people that play necessarily bowling or wrestling. Like, just the level of dedication you have to wrestling.
With that magic stuff.
And the magic, I don't forgot about the magic. So, okay, go ahead, Granny. I'm sorry.
That out in the newspaper, he
Mhm.
had little things in there for kids to do.
Yeah.
And he liked that. And then he started watching, what's his name? That famous man on TV.
Yeah, Copperfield, I think it was.
Remember the talent show you did it?
Mhm.
And then, but one time he was,
Yes,
he really
that was
like
iconic.
into that magic. Cause remember I used to go with you, like we went to McCallum's Lodge on Fort Bragg on Halloween, and I helped him with the stuff, and at Mama's Memorial.
Yeah.
Whenever, and that what's the name? He died. He wanted, the last thing he asked me to do was show him how to make that pen go through the doll.
Yeah.
I get a chance to do that.
Yeah. So, to piggyback, yes, Ken is definitely goated for a few reasons, and it definitely wrestling and magic. So on the wrestling end, it's like, it's so crazy when I tell people my brother wrestles, they're like, you mean like with the mat? Or, and I'm like, no, like WWE wrestling. And they still can't fathom it. And then like the few times I've been able to bring like a friend to one of his shows or whatever, they're like underwhelmed until they get there. And then they're like, no, but he was for real, like flipping off the ropes and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like I told you, like he be doing that WWE type wrestling, like basically it's semi-pro, right? From what I understand.
Pretty much.
And it's like the level of commitment you have to your characters. When you was in radio, you had your like Ken Shirt character, and then you had what else?
Yeah, he was a fox when he worked for Fox in '99. I sewed the tail on that fox.
Mhm.
And also like just the different. You've had a few different personas in wrestling, but my favorite, of course, is the dynamic duo Team Sexy. Yes. And if you're wondering, I for sure am going to insert some clips of all of this. But then double goated because of the magic. Like that magic show, I don't know
the one that he did that was in my heart forever was the time that he
when he was in high school.
Stage.
Yes. He had.
That was the most amazing thing.
And you had Tweety.
Everybody was like,
yeah, when he came in that, they said, look back. We look back.
he was coming all the way in the back of the.
Yeah, don't we have a video of that or no?
I do.
Everybody in there, I mean, that place was, you couldn't hear nobody. Still, it was roaring.
Yeah.
Then some little one of the guys, he got up there. He said, "Well, this is our black Houdini."
Yeah. Did you have Tweety?
Yeah.
So yeah, we used to have birds, but we didn't have Yoshi yet at that time. So we had a cockatoo named Tweety, and he brought Tweety on stage with him and did a trick with our bird, and then he basically made himself disappear from the stage, from the main stage, and then made himself reappear. And the fact that I remember that and I don't remember nothing. Yes. Yes.
Talent show that had at school, and Kim won too.
Yeah.
What'd you place?
First.
First place,
Mhm.
yeah. See, that was iconic because I don't remember nothing, but I can see that in my mind right now. I can see.
I think yeah, it's on a DVD somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe send me a copy or something. That way I can
Okay.
insert it in here.
That was just, and that's what the two little guys held up. And while they were holding it up, he disappeared behind the curtain. And when I was around the building and came in the door way back there,
Yeah, that was
put a sign
crazy.
up that say "Look behind you," and everybody looked back and he was standing
Yeah.
there.
And I blew the big whistle to get everybody's
That was
attention.
crazy. Yeah, that was
And
crazy.
that place it was just like roaring.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
that's because of the type of mom and grandma that we have.
yeah.
You know, they didn't say that's stupid. You know, why are you doing that? You know, it was like,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead and try it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
They let y'all know it was okay to live outside the box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every opportunity to get, take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it goes good or bad, we'll still be here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, the magic and the wrestling. It's just like you are like a cool person because you don't do what everybody else does. You do what you like to do, and then you do.
You
do it
have to.
well.
Life is too short, man.
Yeah.
You have to do stuff that's gonna make you happy.
I remember things like when Jesse was pregnant,
Mhm.
came home and put something on the stove, went to sleep, and Ken woke you up. He said, I asked him how did he do that. He said he crawled on his knees till he was little. He was in his room and he said he smelled smoke and he touched the doorknob and it wasn't hot, so he peeked out and he saw the smoke. And he crawled to your bedroom and grabbed your feet and shook you till you woke up.
He
Mhm.
saved y'all life.
Then Tio was cleaning up the yard and he was putting leaves in a barrel. And I don't know what made him go off and leave it. It was burning and he took off and Ken was riding his bicycle around the neighborhood and he went around the street way back there and he saw the fire in the yard. And he came to the house and got the water hose and put it out and then went in the house and told them that he did it. I said, Lord have mercy.
Your dad saved my life one time. Did you know that?
You were choking. You said.
On a peppermint. You weren't. I don't think you were there. It was at the rec center. Remember we lived in Savoy Heights? The rec center. Somebody gave me a mint. Put the mint in my mouth. And I went to take off, and it got caught in my throat. And as soon as I did this, he got up and gave me the Heimlich maneuver, and it went flying across the room.
Shout out to the U.S. Marines for that training too. Yeah. Okay. I think we're done, y'all.
Joy and PJ swallowed a nickel one time. And
Oh.
Joy was, they stayed next door, and Joy was hollering, help, help. And I ran down. I said, what's wrong? She said, PJ is choking. I picked him up, turned him upside down, and shook him.
And that worked?
Yeah, it popped out. I was thinking
It
worked. She was holding him, and I grabbed him out her arm, and I turned him upside down and shook him, and it popped right out. Wow.
Hey, sorry. One more thing I wanted to, for this Mother's Day episode, I wanted to give a special shout out in memory of Aunt Bill. Oh. I'm about to cry. Wait, so I'm gonna do it. So to not make it sad though, there's a story that you have that I think is funny that you told me. I can't remember it right now, but something about, was it my dad was like naked or something, or like,
Oh,
you know
was it like a
Earth?
Yeah, we had a nightmare. He jumped up naked or something like that. I think I remember that.
Is that? I think you told me, Granny. Somebody knew a story about my dad. Like, okay, so context.
He had a nightmare and he was screaming in his sleep. He was jumping up. He jumped up out of bed. He didn't have no clothes on. Is that what you're
Maybe it's something that had to do with something that happened at Aunt Belle's house. Nobody remember that story?
I don't remember.
That's the only one I remember. I don't know if that was at Aunt Bell's house though. That's
Oh, something that happened at Aunt Bill's house. Okay, never mind. Anyway, shout out to Aunt Bill.
With Bill's
Yeah.
and And the chair, she had these wood chairs with pillows in it. And he played Pinko. He would put the things in between the things in the back of the chair. And then she pressed it bell all the time. Why you let that boy do that? I said, well, he was having fun.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention her because she didn't have any kids per se, but we were her kids. We were basically her kids /
Her neighbor thought I was
grandkids.
her kid for years.
Yeah, we basically were. So yeah, shout out to Aunt Belle up there in heaven. Okay, I'm done, so I can stop crying now.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the bag.